jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports.
What up, it's your boy Roy Jones Jr. and right now you tune in to World Combat Sports.
Once again, you're tuned in to World Combat Sports. What's good, everyone? Salute on this Sunday. You know what it is. Big salute to the supporters of the channel, man. Those of you that tune in each and every time, you either see me live or you get the bell notification that's sent your way. It's really not consistent, but I appreciate y'all pulling up. Now, of course, we have to do the review of fight weekend. I can't say it wasn't heavy because I enjoyed the fight cards. I ain't gonna lie. You know, the UFC had a fight card going on before that. Yesterday you had Bellator, the PFL that went on, and you know, you had the defense of the WBC title by Jesse James, Rodriguez Franco. You know what I'm saying? Went in there and fought Sor Rungvisai. And we're going to talk about him. We're going to talk about Jessica McCaskill, who stepped in there against Ibada. It's not going to be, you're not going to hear what you want with that one. You know what I'm saying? And also Akhmadaliev. That's how you pronounce his name. Super bantamweight. He's a unified champion. WBA, IBF, super bantamweight champion. His neighbor, his compeer, who also the unified champion, the one and only Philly's own Cool Boy Steph, hails the WBC and the WBO Super Bantamweight World Championships. And we're gonna talk about that. That's a fight that I want to see, and I'm pretty sure the hardcore boxing fans want to check that out. So let's start with Akhmadaliev, right? I've seen this cat, you know, a couple other times, really never paid attention to him. I'm being real. You know what I'm saying? Like, his name has been out there for quite some time. You know, people look at him as one of the best at super bantamweight, and he's been handling his business. He didn't get the opportunity to fight Brandon Figueroa, and, you know, of course, he haven't had the chance to fight Cool Boy Steph. But one thing we can't deny about Akhmad is the fact that he is a talented fighter. Akhmad is very, very talented. You know, suppose he had an injured left hand and he didn't use it most of the fight. But if he didn't use his left hand most of the fight, then imagine what he's like with both hands. Very strong fighter, has power, distinct, certified, official power. Real talk. This guy has solid, certified, official, legitimate power. Now, with that said, it's power that can break you down. Okay? It's power that can break you down, so to speak. I don't see him as one knockout power because he was able to land on Rios quite a few times and he didn't drop him. It's not until he landed that body shot that Rios wasn't expecting with the left hand. Rios wasn't prepared for that left hand because Ahmad had threw a a surplus of uppercuts, straight up the middle, splitting the guard. So instead of him going up top, he went to the breadbasket. The dough was soft at the time, and he put him in the oven. He put him in the oven, point blank period. He folded him, put him in the oven, and there you go. You got the gingerbread man. The fight's over. And I like how he closed out the fight. He looks very big for a super bantamweight, but I'll tell you like this: TV makes these fighters look bigger than what they are. But Ahmed did his damn thing. Dude is a physical specimen. To be in a weight class that light. And as for Cool Boy Steph, though, you're talking about one of the best boxers in the game. Seriously, Cool Boy Steph is one of the best boxers in the game. He's one of the best boxers in the game. I repeat, Stephen Fulton is one of the best boxers in the sport. Him stepping in the ring with Ahmad, that would be a damn good fight. It's all about who has the more strategic ring IQ and how they implement it. It's always tactics. Tactics are different for everybody. You know what I'm saying? On how they execute those tactics. It's different. Everybody's mindset is different, especially in the art of war. Their mindset is different, especially in the art of war, man. It's all about what type of resistance you're getting and what type of conflict you're trying to inflict. You know what I'm saying? That's all. And how can you carry that out? That's how we think in the military. That's how the boxers think. Any fighter think in the art of war and combat. You know what I'm saying? Who's going to execute that the best? I would like to see that fight. That is a very grand fight in the super bantamweight division, 122 pounds. And people shouldn't sleep on Cool Boy Steph. You know what I'm saying? He is one of the best boxers in the sport today. Just because he's in a lighter weight division, and there ain't a lot of brothers down there in the lighter weight divisions like that, we shouldn't overlook him and say, well, look, check this out. Well, we'll put Monster, on the list. I know where Naoya Inoue is on there because he's a multi-division champion. Okay, but looking at Cool Boy Steph's skill, you don't have to be a multi-division champion to be on the pound for pound list. That's already proven. Don't let me start throwing names. No, hold up. Don't let me start name dropping. Don't let me start name dropping. You do not have to be a multi-division champion to be on the pound for pound list. So when you look at what Cool Boy Steph is doing at 122, he has 2 belts. And you look at Errol Spence Jr., what separates them? Akel Brook, Sean Porter, Yadinas Ugas? You know what I'm saying? And Mikey Garcia, what separates them? You know what I'm saying? Because he's a unified champion. And sooner or later, if he goes in here and becomes undisputed, then how are they gonna, play that out? But I'm not gonna put the cart before the dang Shetland pony. For real, I'm not gonna do that. I just want to see if this fight gonna happen. I would like to see it happen. And we should really, zoom that lens in on Cool Boy Steph because he is one of the best in the game. Real talk, hands down. Andrew Charles on deck. What's good with it, Andrew? Salute to you, bro. So let's from Cool Boy Steph to Jesse James, aka Bam Rodriguez Franco, right? Check this out. You know how I'm gonna go with this. I'm gonna keep it as honest as I possibly can about Bam. He looked very good against Sor Rangfasai. Very talented fighter. I like his movement, the way he was stepping around, pivoting. You know what I'm saying? He has very fluent movement with his punch output. I like it. I like it. I was getting on Raymond Ford about this. Like, For a long time, black boxers had this label that was attached to them, that they don't like being in brawls. They want to be pretty, and they want to hit and not get hit. They want to swim without getting wet. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with going in there dancing and being flowing and magical with your shit. There's nothing wrong with it. But you don't have to do it flat-footed. Because anybody that's been around the sport long enough knows that why would footwork be considered a detriment to your boxing game? Standing in one place, going punch for punch with a fighter, is almost guaranteed to render you more punishment than it would if you was moving around. If you had an entry exit plan, you know what I'm saying? So with him, when he was firing off those shots towards Sor Rangfasai, and they was hitting him too. They was at the right time. He was lining up nice. All you can say to that is like, damn, oh boy is very educated to be so young in boxing. His skill set, very educated with his hands, man. And his foot movement. The step around, the pivot, landing a hook shot. Man, just then putting his punches together with the 1-2, sometimes 4 punch combinations, landing all of them, removing himself from any type of counter shots or pressure that Rangfasai tried to place upon him. He wasn't there. Bam did very well, man. He put on a boxing lesson on the more experienced veteran Rangfasai. He did. So I know everybody's out here saying, is he the new rising, this, that, and the other? Listen, I'm going to be straight up with you. Bam didn't do anything I haven't seen Shakur Stevenson do. Real talk. Bam Rodriguez haven't did anything I haven't seen Devin Haney do. I'm just being serious. Like, people want to try so hard to say, these fighters beat someone and they look the part. They always want to give them all this love, but I'm just saying, what I see in boxing, they act like they got to give them all this love right off the rip. But when it comes to certain black boxers, they have to do extensively more. You know what I'm saying? I understand he's young. He's 22. He got Mikey Garcia in his corner. Everybody want to, give Mikey Garcia all the credit, the Garcia camp and all this for this young lion. He did well. But let's not act like he's the best boxer. I don't think he's a better boxer than Stephen Fulton. I don't think so at all. Not even close. And that's the closest pure boxer. Like, if you really want to talk, I don't even think Inoue beats Fulton. But if Bam was even anywhere remotely close to super bantamweight, it'll be a whole different story. You know what I'm saying? It's not diverse down there in those lighter divisions, in my opinion. I know you got the D-Boy brothers, Dylan Price down there, but they're moving him, at a pace, their own pace. They're moving Dylan White at his own pace. But he's one of the only black fighters that's down there in the lighter divisions, in the flyweights. But as far as that, we had some brothers that was in bantamweight division, like the Rashi Warrens, Josh Greer Jr.'s. It's very few. Very few. And then, you start seeing that at 122 pounds on up. So Bam Rodriguez being heralded as one the best boxer, pure boxer in boxing is crazy, because I think Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, Stephen Fulton, Terrence Crawford, you know what I'm saying? I think those guys hold that position very comfortably. Very comfortably. Comfortable like I don't know what, like a posh pillow. Very. You know what I'm saying? Very, very, very. And so even Lomachenko, you got to throw Vasil Lomachenko in there. You know what I'm saying? Dude has mad boxing skills. I like his fluency on how he was in there putting together his game plan and executing so smoothly against the veteran Rung Fasai, who's been in there with some of the best. And he just had too much tread on the tire, man. Rung Fasai has too much tread on the tire. He looked old. When you saw his balance and everything, when he was stumbling all over the place, it just seems like it was a wrap early when Bam was connecting and he was kind of off balance. It was done. I knew it was gonna be a tough night. Cooking with Sir Seniors on deck. What's good with it? He said Monster Nui versus Cool Boy. Yeah, Monster Nui, Monster versus CBS. That's a good fight. And people are looking at Monster once again, as being this guy who doesn't come over here to the U.S. like that. It just seems like this is going to be a fighter, right? Now, check this out, because I always like doing, juxtaposed side-by-side comparisons. They're going to force this guy, CBS, to go over there in the backyard of Inoue, okay? And this just plays into what I say about boxing. He has 2 titles. He's unified. Inoue is 3-weight champion, right? So the guy that's a 3-weight champion and holds 3 belts at bantamweight, he's going to somewhat have all the leverage. You know where I'm going with this. He has all the leverage. He has 3 divisions. He gonna have all the leverage against Stephen Fulton, who has 2 belts in 1 division. That's what I be trying to tell people about the Terrence Crawford situation and Errol Spence. It's only convenient when boxing choose to pick and when boxing choose to like be selective on who has the juice and who doesn't, because the scenario plays out all the time. This is a perfect example. In a way, will force Fulton to come over there to his backyard because they're gonna say he has all the credentials. But when I'm sitting up here trying to tell people credentials matter, divisions matter, they can't tell you hardly anything on who Inoue beat in those 3 divisions. They'll talk about freaking, certain people in the bantamweight division. You know what I'm saying? Inoue didn't fight Nordine Obali when he had the title, but he fought Nonito Donaire, who beat Obali. You know what I'm saying? He ended up getting that. He didn't fight John Casimiro, but now John Casimiro isn't the champion anymore, so he's probably going to unify that division. But like I'm saying before, you take a fighter up in the welterweight division that has an undisputed division, and they want to pick and choose because the fighter he beat to get there is a familiar name. He's a familiar name. So they'll tell you Crawford's divisions don't matter. It's all about what Spencer's doing in his hometown. Well, Inoue is doing the same thing. But Inoue has multi-divisions. Errol Spence doesn't. But they eliminate Crawford's past credentials and achievements that say he really doesn't have leverage in this welterweight division. When I can give you scenarios in other divisions on where that's not the case. Belts matter and credentials matter. Divisions. The credentials are the divisions and the belts. They all matter. They carry forward up the chain of command as the fighter continues to box for that fighter to leverage more when it comes to him negotiating his purse. That's just the way it is. How do people get pay raises in their corporate jobs? It's based off what their work history. It's based off what they've been to achieve in their work history. That's why they get promotions. You just don't come in there and get a promotion and say, I haven't had a job, period. You know what I'm saying? Or I haven't never had a position that fits into the structure for what I applied for here. It was totally opposite. But I'm trying to come in at 200,000. They're gonna tell your credentials. You're not qualified to come in at 200,000. What are you doing? Bruce Gas Boxing, Jason Moore. What's good? Salute my brother Scotty. Salute to you, OG. How you feeling? That's all I'm saying. So back to boxing. So we probably will see that. But for Bam Rodriguez, I salute the young lion. You know what I'm saying? I salute him. He looked very, very good. He looked good against an older fighter. These fighters are coming off COVID and everything. Sometimes they look good, sometimes they don't. You know what I'm saying? Like Alexander Povetkin facing Dillian White coming off COVID. He looked terrible. Serious. He looked absolutely terrible. Rungvisai didn't look good at all last night. He never got off. He never got the, shifting gears and got it into. I don't think he ever got in the third, to be honest. Bam assured him that wasn't going to happen, and he got the stoppage. You know what I'm saying? So that young warrior's shining. He's shining. They big on him right now. They should be. No hate at all. They should be, because he did what he's supposed to do. And that's what I'm trying to tell y'all about these young fighters. These young fighters are slowly but surely getting title shots before they have 10 professional fights, 15 professional fights. If they are out here winning on the highest stage, they're going to give them a title shot sooner or later. They're going to give them a title shot, man. It's what they do with the title shot. And the reason why I can salute Jesse James is the fact that he sees that. Last minute, higher division, win. What more can you say? Not only did he win, but he went in there and earned a knockdown and ended up getting a victory. Now, comparing his last fight to this fight, he looked much more impressive to me. I was on here saying that, he couldn't stop a guy who was Carlos Cuadras. He couldn't stop a guy who was stopped in this previous fight before he stepped in there. The guy had been stopped. Bam stepped in there and went the distance. But he came in there against Rungvisai, and he stopped the older, elderly fighter who has a lot of tread on the tires. He got the job done. Great work by Bam. It was very entertaining to him. Real talk. Very entertaining. Very, very entertaining, man. So, I know a lot of people are going to put up this, that, and the other. But one thing I feel that I don't have to do, right? I'm not going to, be deceptive with the description just to draw in viewers and make it seem like I'm leading towards one way, but yet I'm all the way to the other way. Like people put on here and try to, hype up a fighter as if he's the best at what they're doing. I mean, what he's doing in the sport, and he's not there yet. He's not there yet. Real talk. Bam Rodriguez has a ways to go. Very talented fighter. He has a ways to go though. And then as far as his size, he's very limited on what divisions he's going to move up to. You know what I'm saying? What's his next division? He's too small to go up there and fight anyway. He wouldn't dare do that. So it becomes a thing where he's shining right now. But how much growth does he have with the divisions that he can advance to later on in his boxing career? Because he's only like 22 years old. So that's good shit. But as far as him being the best pure boxer, don't do that. Don't do that to the ones who you just seen put on a display in heavier divisions. Come on. Don't do that to the Haneys. Don't do that to the Stevensons. Don't do it to the Crawfords, man. Don't do it to the Lomachenkos, the Fultons, these individuals that are out here that can box their ass off, man. Don't do them like that. That's disrespectful as hell. That's very disrespectful. Real talk. That's disrespectful. We're talking about fighters who can use their footwork and rhythm with their punch output and execution. So don't come up here and act like Bam is doing something we ain't never seen before, and we got fighters out here that's doing it already. Jessica McCaskill, man. Listen, when she's commentating and everything, I'm all good with that. Like she's very easy on the eyes. She knows her boxing. She's professional and everything. When she steps in the ring, I really, on a scale of 1 to 10, in my opinion, watching her fight is a -5. Serious, that's on a scale of 1 to 10 sober. You know what I'm saying? If I wasn't sober, let's just say it's that time. That's that second time of the year that I even drink. That second time of the annual calendar that I even have anything, and I'm feeling a little good. She might squeak out a .5. I just feel as a fighter, she feels she's giving us the Mexican style. And I'm saying to myself, man, we done seen the Mexican style for years and decades, bro. All along there, Jessica. We've seen women boxing before you that had much more tight, structured boxing skills, boxing etiquette. You are wild. You are freaking wild, man. You are wild. You just go in there, you don't set nothing up, and you just wing and ding, ding and wing. That's not entertaining to people who want to, that's already complaining that the women don't have, top tier competition like that across the board. You just proving their point. You going in there fighting like I used to see back on the playground when two females get to fight. They just throwing hands, pulling hair, throwing hands, pulling hair, throwing hands. It's just wild everywhere. You're not even using a jab. You want to thank your coaches. You say you level up. You say, oh, we leveled up. So if you're leveling up, right, you giving your coaches the credit on an opponent, Ibarra. Ibarra didn't want to be there. I said that in my live. I said this chick doesn't give me that warmness that I'm looking for. Does she really want to be in this fight? She ended up quitting. So in that perspective, I think I had a good sense of judgment. She said that Jessica was holding too much. But even her opponent, Ibarra, was much more technically disciplined than McCaskill to a point. She was just too slow. And I don't think she was fit, conditioned to handle that pressure from McCaskill. But Jessica, if you watching, you must be planning on pursuing an alternative career very fast. Because unlike the male side of the house, and I really don't like comparing the males to the females when it comes to this boxing game. Well, let's just say we had a male that was fighting like Jessica McCaskill. That same male fighter wouldn't last long either, because they're leaving themselves too open. And then according to what weight class they in and the competition that resides in that weight class, it'll be a problem. So I'm going to balance the scales out with my criticism to say that the male side and the female side, if it came down to fighting a style like yours, Jessica, I'm not here to see that. You was fighting like an amateur, man. You was fighting like you don't even think about using the jab in the gym. And you up there talking about your team. Thank you for y'all had to level up. Jessica, you had one of the worst styles of a champion in the women's division. The worst. You just loading up on shots after shots, man. The worst style. Let me give you a perfect example, Jessica, of trying to load up on power punches. Edgar Berlanga. Edgar Berlanga was once in your shoes loading up with power punches all the time. He wasn't as erratic. He would just, load up with that right hand. Now he's being forced to box because his competition is improving, right? And his team was forced to make a change. Now, of course, he changed, trainers and all that, which is good. You know why he had to do that? Because just like I said, If he didn't make the changes, it was gonna sooner or later somebody was gonna stop him. Somebody's gonna stop the man because he was leveled out just like Artur Beterbiev at one time. His wins equaled his knockouts. Now, when it comes to Beterbiev, because I'm just connecting these dots, right? Comes to Beterbiev having a record like he does, he can box. He can box. But I'm telling you, if it was a male right now that was as wild as you were, they would get knocked the fuck out easily. Because the way you come in, you're just in the division where the women don't have power. Some of those women that you're fighting don't have enough power to hold you and keep you honest. That's all that is. D-Ray Promotions on deck. What's good? Salute to you. That's all that is there, Jessica. Yeah, one of the worst styles of any champion, period. You know what I'm saying? It'd be good to see you stepping there with a Katie Taylor. I hope you're able to, go in there because y'all not young spring chickens, man. You know what I'm saying? I think Katie Taylor, beats you up something fierce. You know what I'm saying? It will be crucial. You know what I'm saying? I think Amanda Serrano just sits there and have a field day with you, target practice. But different divisions. You know what I'm saying? Different divisions. And they're almost like fantasy fights. But anybody looking at this fight does not compare that energy that you was trying to give them, that excitement, that entertainment, that firework, that TNT, that ammunition, that explosive type frag grenade, type of thing, shock and awe. No, we didn't get any of that because you was just left hand, overhand, right hand, left hand, right hand, hold, clench, get sloppy, left hand, right hand, looping. Oh, I'm like, damn, this is a professional? Like, even when she fought Cecilia Brakas, Cecilia is a much more disciplined fighter, but she was slow and she was older. She just couldn't handle the pressure. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's different when it comes to a brawler. Sometimes a brawler can get away with that because a fighter's mental blade isn't sharp enough to take the pressure. Another fighter who fights like McCaskill? This real talk, because this is what I do. Isaac Cruz. But see, the difference between Isaac Cruz, he's in a division where he has competition that can keep him honest. All right? So if you look at the fight that Isaac Cruz had with Diego Magdaleno, it was really never a time that he had to use that defensive shield that he did with Gervonta Davis because he didn't respect Magdaleno like that, and that was that. And then his next fight, he was then throwing overhand over and over again because his opponent didn't keep him honest. But yet he didn't have anything to come back in return to slow down Isaac Cruz. So if Isaac is able to continue to pressure and throw them overhand rights and left, he doesn't have power, so it looks good. But if his opponent has decent defense, they'll lose a decision. So he gets in here with Tank. He's not able to throw that overhand right as much as he did in his previous fights. But he did once he had Tank in a stationary position. He tried. But the one good thing he has that you don't have, Jessica, is that defense. Isaac Cruz has that defense. You just come in there and you just wing and you're not worrying about no defense. It's just left, right, rock'em, sock'em, just bang, bang, chitty, chitty, bang, bang. That shit ain't exciting, man. I don't know who you trying to be. I don't know who you trying to emulate. I don't know. It's just bad. Like out of the fight card, even Nikita Bobby, I'd rather go back and look at his fight than look at that fight. It's just too sloppy for me. That's all I'm saying. That shit was just too sloppy. Too freaking sloppy. Moving on though. Jessica McCaskill says she's thinking about dropping down to 140 because 47 doesn't interest her. Okay. All right. You already was at 140. You know what are you doing down there? Like what's left for you down there? I'm just absolutely curious as to why you want to drop back down there. You know? The situation is going on with Canelo, Thug Life, Mr. Thug Life, send him in the Thug Life. Let's talk about Mr. Thug Life himself. So let's just rewind just a little bit, right? When he fought Caleb Plant, shoved the man, they exchanged, slaps and stuff like that, cut the man over his eye and stuff like that, the presser, at the face off and all that. Okay, so he goes in there and get the title. All right, but understand that Caleb Plant's mindset was different than Dimitri Bivol, and it was in different divisions. Okay, so the Dimitri Bivol, I didn't see that same energy with Caleb because he wouldn't dare put his hands on Dimitri Bivol outside the ring. He wouldn't dare do that. Bivol's a different type of dude. He wouldn't dare do that. All right, and we found out why that was once the bell rang. So he went in there and took that L against Bivol and clearly got outperformed. And he took some damage to the point where he was left. Look, he was left hopeless. Canelo was left hopeless and trying to find a way to earn the respect of Dimitri Bivol. He was left hopeless, people. So he took that L. And then we all like, okay, who's he gonna fight next? Because when Tom Brown released the ultimate, you know what I'm saying? They said no, Canelo turned that down because he wants this person. And then after that, he wants this person. That second person wasn't Errol Spence. That second person was the one and only Gennady Golovkin, Triple G, back in the picture. Been campaigning. Look, he's been sitting in there at 160 in a motherfucking tent in Tent City, just waiting, cooking wieners and shit, pork and beans and all that shit. He's been waiting. It got to the point where it was so bad that they said, "Hey, what you doing, buddy? Do you want to fight Yola Murata? He's been out the sport. He's been on vacation, picnicking, going white rafting, hiking. Do you want to, he hasn't really been doing too much. You want to unify so it can make it a little bit more interesting? You been in middleweight division?" He's like, "Yeah, I'll go in there." You know what I'm saying? Went in there, beats Murata, unifies, WBA, IBF champion. All the other people that was at 60 didn't get touched at all. No Marcelo fight, no Andrade fight. All right? Now, Canelo allows this man, okay? This is where I'm saying the fakery comes into play. Canelo allows this man that he doesn't like. He doesn't like Triple G, but he want to get back in the ring with him, right? So therefore, listen to what I'm telling you. He want to get back in the ring because they're paying him money. They're paying him money. He likes the purse that they're paying him. Now, my question to him is, you would have got paid either route you took. You would have got paid either route you took. You established that when you moved up to 60 that you was going to be that man and you can get that bag. You was going to get paid either way. So Triple G didn't have to face Gennady. He didn't have to, because either way he was going to get paid. He could have faced anybody that he wanted to face, and he still was he was going to get compensated regardless. But he chose to face the old guy, 40-year-old Triple G. He could have fought anybody and got the bag. He could have fought Marcelo and still got the bag. He could have fought Errol Spence and got the bag. He could have fought David Benavidez and got the bag. Canelo could have fought anybody and got the bag, but he fights the old guy. And you want to know what people are going to say? This is what they're going to say. This is what I've been hearing a little bit, around the town. They're going to say, well, he unified the super middleweight division. All right. Then he didn't take an easy touch. He went up there and fought a champion, Dimitri Bivol. So therefore, if you want to insinuate that he's fighting an older guy and that Triple G is going to be an easy touch, he deserves that. He deserves that shit. Good morning, Monica. How you doing, Queen? Salute to you. Appreciate everyone in the chat. Please hit the like button for me. You know what I'm saying? Hit the like button. So they're going to say that Canelo deserves it, period. Because he went up here and challenged himself. He swiped Billy Joe Saunders. He swiped Caleb Plant. Then he attempted to move up for a second time in the light heavyweight division. There's no more Sergey Kovalev with a belt. He's a cruiserweight. So they say, hey, why don't you go out there and try to fight Dimitri Bivol? Stay the fuck away from Artur Beterbiev. Leave him alone. Okay? Unless you want to use your life insurance. Leave him alone. And then, Joe Smith was more inclined to face Beterbiev to try to unify. Plus, it was going to be a pretty decent check. Then, Canelo moving up there. At least with Beterbiev, Joe Smith was fighting for belts. He was the WBO super middleweight world champion. And Beterbiev was the WBC and IBF super middleweight world champion. So that was a benefit to the concessions which he was fighting for. He wouldn't have got anything for Canelo. So he took that ass whooping. He comes back from that ass whooping with Beterbiev, and he's mad. Like, he's mad disrespectful, man. He's mad disrespectful. Look, I told people just like I told them about Anderson Silva. I said, these guys who speak a different language, like when Anderson Silva used to speak Portuguese all the time, I say, Anderson, I've heard him speak English, y'all. He just does it for his country and out of respect. That's why he does. He has a translator do their job. I told people Canelo knows how to speak in English. He knows how to speak English. Now he's speaking English, calling people asshole. He's a fake guy. Well, a lot of people say you fake too. A lot of people can say you fake too, dog. He's sitting up there looking all. Look, Canelo, we are not buying it, man. We aren't buying the act. You are putting on an act like Chris Colbert, but with better skills, of course. You're putting on an act. Gennady makes you that mad to the point where you couldn't tell your manager, I don't want to fight him. Forget him, man. I don't like the guy that bad. I don't like him. Now, you have bragging rights. You beat him in the rematch. You beat him in the rematch, man. What are you so mad about? You shouldn't be mad. So let's go. Let's rewind back a little bit and check out the gap. All right. It's 22. We already know it's 22, right? So him and Gennady Golovkin, check this out. Him and Gennady, the first time they fought was September 2017, people. Gennady was undefeated. Undefeated. And they go to a draw. Boom, he still has that O on his record. He goes back in, fights Gennady the very next year. A year to date, when they stepped in there. In 2018, he wins a majority decision. It's been since September 2018 to 22 that these guys are running a trilogy right before our eyes, people. They're running a trilogy right before our eyes, and they're trying to convince us that the older Gennady Golovkin is still credible. You know what I'm saying? He's still a credible opponent. Gennady Golovkin is 40 years old right now, bro. Canelo is 9 years younger than this cat. He's 9 years younger. Canelo Alvarez is 9 years younger in the game. And the way they're gonna sell this fight is that they're gonna have Canelo try to act like he thug life now. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to act like Canelo Alvarez is thug life because he took that motherfucking L. He took the goddamn L. He look, he was made a fool of. Now he's up here frowned up. You know what I'm saying? He's mad, angry, agitated, all grumpy. Dude, Canelo, you got too much money to be acting like this, man. Let me take you around the block just a little bit more. You know how Canelo came out when he was fighting Caleb Plant? How he was, I'm saying, dude was like in the silk pajamas and shit when he showed up. Like he was on a whole nother level Canelo. That's the Canelo that he truly is. Because he's living in wealth right now. That's who he is. Wearing the silk pajamas and walking like he really got that. That's him. That's who he is. This shit that he's doing with Gennady is to basically blanket the L that he took when he faced Dmitry Bivol. He's trying to come back to the division where he's the man, which he is. He's the undisputed. And he's trying to sell to the crowd to buy the fight that I don't like this guy. He's an ass. He's fake. He don't mean anything. And Triple G just sitting up there like, okay, you be the villain for this fight, just like Conor McGregor was the villain versus Floyd Mayweather. Cool. We can play that game. Saul and Triple G getting this glove hot grease. Man, you know how it is. They got to get in the hot grease, that D-Ray. You got to put them in the hot grease because, look, everybody know what facade Canelo is putting on. He got his ass beat, man. He got his ass beat. He was embarrassed. You know what I'm saying? He was embarrassed versus Dmitry Bivol. And now he comes back, thug life tatted on his chest. He's Machiavelli. You know what I'm saying? Like, this dude is frowned up. He's rich. I would expect his expression to be somewhat of someone who's really struggling to see how they're going to get their bills paid next month. You know what I'm saying? I would expect him to be that person that's sitting in traffic who was basically gambling that they can make it home on that little bit of gas they had. And now they sitting in traffic and they hear the gas light come on. Bing! Fuel low. They got that gas. They say, oh shit, I gotta pull over in the emergency lane, man. I'm not gonna make it. Damn. I was hoping I make it, and then I can put some gas in there, or I can ask somebody, for some gas. Yeah, that's what it is, man. That's the kind of look you have on your face when you really at that point, like you don't know how the ends are gonna connect. Especially with these gas prices, especially with paying utilities, especially with mortgages and house payments, especially with putting food on the table. You know what I'm saying? That's when you have people walking around disgruntled. You, Canelo, you're not in that pay grade. You're supposed to be happy. You're supposed to be in here like, dang, I took a loss against Dmitry Bivol, but guess who's the undisputed champion at super middleweight? I am. So in order for you to come to my division, because you was too scared to leave 60, I'm going to handle business again. That's all he got to say. He don't have to come up here and frown up, call the man an asshole, and act like he's this new profound thug life that's got an alias called Cinnamon. I ain't never seen a brother with an alias called Cinnamon that was a thug. I ain't Cinnamon. You get the buff with a list. Cinnamon. Man, don't fuck with Cinnamon. Don't fuck with Cinnamon. Cinnamon is a different type of dude. Cinnamon. Yeah, that lisp. Yeah, I know Cinnamon. It's Mike Tyson. I tell you like this: the guy is tough, but I talked to his team, and I was like, hey, you need to get rid of that alias Cinnamon because every time I say it, I got a lisp, and it doesn't seem hard. You know what I'm saying? See, when they see Iron Mike, they forget about me having a lisp. It don't fucking matter. But when they hear Cinnamon, it just don't have that sting to it. You know what I'm saying? So find them another alias. Damn, y'all need to stop, man. Bibble smoked that Canelo pack for real. What's going on, Supreme Beast Boxing Talk? What's going on, my brother? How you feeling, man? Salute the Supreme Beast, man. Check the brother out. You know what's up with it. Salute WCS. What's good, fam? What's good with you, fam? Good to see you in the building. You know what I'm saying? Let me move on to another topic, cause man, that's pure buffoonery that's going on with Canelo. You know what I'm saying? Trying to be hard because he took that ass whooping against Bivol. Man, get over it, bro. You didn't have to face Triple G. You could have faced Amaro Charlo. You could have faced the David Benavidez, period. All right? Those guys right there, you know what I'm saying? If Amaro Charlo could have moved up, he's still young enough, you would have got paid good money to fight Amaro Charlo because people want to see that fight too. And then you definitely would have got paid to fight Benavidez. Okay. So it is what it is with that. Stop fooling the people with this thug life act, man. Come on, man. Stop it. So as I put that in the background, right? It leads me to this. Canelo saying that he's after Triple G, he's planning on moving back up to face Bivol. All right. Now, this is what I'm not understanding up to this point. Bivol should be entirely focused on Beterbiev. That's the fight. Why that's the fight? Because him coming off, the destruction of Joe Smith, people want to see Bivol, who destroyed Canelo. Hey, they both coming off destroying two guys. It's just, Canelo did make it to the final bell. But I'm saying they want to see a light heavyweight unification fight, man. You have two fighters that matches up very well and provides us with enough suspense to say, okay, will Beterbiev power, strength, be too much for Bivol, or will Bivol's boxing and his punch output and everything be too much for Beterbiev? Will he outbox Beterbiev? We want to see this shit. We want to see it. So if I was Bivol, I wouldn't face Canelo after that. But see, in boxing, this is where the line is going to be drawn. This is where the line is going to be drawn. These fighters don't have a retirement plan. Anybody and everybody that cover the sport of boxing closely, they'll tell you this shit. These fighters at this point in time are totally overlooking what Tank Davis is doing. Tank Davis is not really going after all these big belts where he has to pay sanctioning fees like that. Very smart business wise, right? So if you look at the money perspective on what fight would be much more lucrative for Bivol versus Beterbiev, Canelo versus Beterbiev, Bivol's probably looking at it like, if I fight Canelo, I'm going to get more money because I'm already champion. And he knows if he goes and defeat Beterbiev, right, he has to pay sanctioning fees on those belts. That's where boxing is now, is waddling in muddy water right now, because boxers are coming in with much more of a business sense to kind of finagle them ways around those big titles that have to pay sanctioning fees. They want to become champion any means necessary and then move on to the next. It's a lot of sanctioning fees that goes into all these belts. I can tell you right now, Devin Haney is not going to be undisputed for a long period because they're going to decide to say, hey, I'm going to come off these belts because I ain't trying to come out the pocket. I'm not trying to come out the pocket with this shit. I'm not trying to pay all these sanctioning fees out my check. I'm not trying to do it. That's why Terrence Crawford, even though he was moving up, he's saying, you know what, I'm not going to stay here longer than I have to. I'm undisputed at 140. I'm going to 47. Bye. Bye. So Canelo, he beats Triple G, which I think he will. Then you know what it is, man. Bivol shouldn't give him a rematch when it comes to the credentials. But I'm thinking Bivol's going to give him a rematch because of the pay. He's going to give him a rematch because of the pay, man. Boxing does not have a retirement plan. It doesn't have a 401k. It doesn't have medical, dental, nothing, bro. Boxing has nothing. When you're sitting at home and your gloves are somewhere that you don't know nothing about, or you sold them, you put an autograph and you had to sell them for a little bit of change, the phone calls are going to stop. Unless you got a gym you running and you invest your money into something that's going to provide you residual income. The phone is going to stop ringing, period. I'm just letting you know. It's going to stop ringing. So when you start going through those emotional ups and downs, when you have those outbursts, and let's say you with your girl, I mean, you got to have a strong woman, man. You got to have a strong woman, just like in the military, dealing with veterans with PTSD. You got to have a strong woman, or you're gonna deal with the shit by yourself. Your woman leaves you because she think you're too dangerous, and you dare to handle that shit by yourself. You can't really call up someone in boxing that's going through the same shit you're going through, because they might, depending on what punishment they took in their career, they might be going through shit they trying to take care of too. They might not be in a healthy state. So it gets lonely, man, for these fighters. So get your bag. Real talk. That's where we at right now in this era. You have a lot of fighters that's trying to get paid rather than go out here and pick up these belts and say, you know what, I'm this champion, I'm that champion. Gervonta Davis has pretty much took a single route and earned 3 divisions, and he hasn't really had major titles like that. But that regular title has did him absolutely glorious. Deontay Wilder, man, he's talking about coming back. We don't know when he's coming back. You feel me? We don't know when he's coming back. But as I put on Facebook, I don't want to see him and Fury fight anymore. I'm done with that trilogy. That trilogy is over. I don't want to see him and Fury. But some of the names that's out there, of course, is the Wiley Zhangs, Ad Caballel, Tony Yoka, Otto Wallin, of course, Dillian White, Michael Hunter, Andy Ruiz. I would like to see him fight a name, even though Dillian White has been stopped, 3 times. I wouldn't still mind seeing Deontay Wilder and Dillian White fight because they have a history together when Deontay Wilder was champion. I wouldn't mind seeing him fight Otto Wallin, because Otto Wallin is a decent fighter. You know what I'm saying? Zhang Wally Zhang, he's one of those slow, big dudes. I don't have no interest in that. Tony Yoka, he'll get touched up, probably stopped. Michael Hunter, if that's there. And Andy Ruiz, not so much. I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there. Moving on. I'm curious to know, like it's been mute a little bit. You probably can attest to this, right? I'm curious to know about the Devin Haney and George Cambozo's rematch. I don't care what the date is. I'm just curious if we ever see this happen. Because just because they have a date doesn't mean they're actually going to step in the ring a second time. Because with boxing, we have seen this play out like, oh, so-and-so came down with something, or they was injured. He's unable to fight. So in the interim, so-and-so steps in. And you're saying to yourself, how the fuck can this fighter step in and so just canceled. So he's gonna have a short fight camp. No, they already knew that person wasn't fighting. But once again, to puppetize the listeners and the viewers, they'll lead it on, lead, as if we're gonna get Devin Haney and George Cambozo. All along, Cambozo might be, not the one. He's not gonna be able to get the fight. They put somebody else in there. Let's just say it's Lomachenko. People gonna be like, shit, Devin Haney's fighting Lomachenko, right? I mean, wasn't he's over there in Kazakhstan? Like, how did this work? Does Lomachenko had enough time? Believe me, Lomachenko had enough time. If that scenario played itself out, they already told him, get yourself ready. Lomachenko's over there preparing, out of sight, out of mind. Devin Haney's training, because he's supposed to step in, the ring, period. They will make all the necessary changes. But don't be surprised, like, if Cambozo doesn't make this rematch and they say he's injured, that somebody else, a notable name, steps in. Because there's no need for Haney to take a tune-up anywhere. Fuck all that. He don't need to take a tune-up anywhere. What's going on? My guy Rob Partner in the building, the best in the game, man. He said, happened on Sunday Live. PS, I'm in Dallas. Shout out to Dallas, bro. Shout out to Rob Partner, man. If you're over there, man, check him out. Check his IG out, man. He's official, man. He got the blue chip. You know what I'm saying? Rob Partner got the blue chip on y'all ass, man. Dude, do multiple shit. Like, when I say multiple albums, comedy, blazing cuts, shit. Appreciate you pulling up, Rob. Be safe over there, man. Supreme said Canelo gonna lose to Triple G, and everybody gonna have to respect Triple G for being undisputed. Wow. So Supreme is going for Canelo. I mean, going for Triple G. He's going for Triple G. What's going on, IB? Man, I can't imagine that. So Supreme, what you're saying is you're going off Sarah Pata, or whatever his name. How he looked at Sarah Pata. He didn't look anything convincing. He didn't look dominating in that fight. And then the way he looked, based off Yoda Murata, I mean, it was just a guy who'd been out the ring for quite some time, and Triple G ended up getting a stoppage. I didn't see anything impressive about it. But at 40 years old, after seeing Rung Fasad get his ass beat, you know what I'm saying, Supreme? Like, Rung Fasad, man, the old dude's been going down hard, Supreme. Like, damn. Nonito Donaire, down. Rung Fasad, down. You know what I'm saying? The old dude's been getting taken out, man. They've been sending these dudes back to the house with some goddamn liniment. They had a masseuse come over there and rub liniment on their body. You know what I'm saying? They gave them a smoothie. No whole foods. I need for you to recover. We need to get you back healthy. We're going to give you nothing but smoothie diets. You know what I'm saying? The green Dick Gregory special. And we just want you to recover. Get your blood count up the way it's supposed to be, because you lost a lot of blood. You lost a lot of blood in the ring. We got to get your white blood cells back up. Okay. We got to get you right. The old guy's been taking hits, bro. The old guy's been taking mad hits lately. Damn. But we can't credit, like, who can we say that's still out here doing the damn thing and old? I mean, it's some old, but the old guys lately been taking a hit, man. Real talk. Damn, he said he got Triple G. I think that's the first person I seen on the live chat that say they got Triple G. I know one thing. I ain't betting on that fight. IB already done hit me in the pockets, bro. And I knew better than that. I did. I'm from the city. I knew. The 2-for-1 on a fighter that's really not no. No. But that's okay. I'm gonna get my money back. I'm gonna get my money back, man. For real. I'm gonna get my money back. Um, so this is pretty interesting. Richard Schaefer files defamation lawsuit against Ben Shalom. So, boxing scene has learned that Probellum and Company co-founders Richard Schaefer and Ali Shamspoor have filed a defamation lawsuit against boxer and promoter Ben Shalom, who operates CEO and director of UK. Initial filing was placed. Let me see. The lawsuit comes with Probellum brand. Okay, so Richard Schaefer suing somebody. Okay, cool. Well, outside of that, anybody heard any new profound news on Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence? Anybody? Anybody? I repeat, anybody? Because you know, I was seeing stuff out there that Errol Spence was saying that he was gone. You know, he was done with the fight. Anybody else heard any new breaking news? I'm just curious. If not, hey, it's been cool, y'all. I appreciate it. Can't stay on long right now. It's Sunday, but we would definitely get back on and chop it up. Dang, my boy Masasi lost to Evelyn. Damn, middleweight champion, man. My boy Masasi. Shout out to Masasi, man. But appreciate y'all pulling up, man. Continue to support the channel each and every time you see me live. I appreciate you, man. Shout out to all y'all in the live chat that pulled up and turn up and tune in to World Combat Sports, man. I'm out.